Could you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started at Capitec Bank?
My background, I am Trust Muneri. I reside in Vhembe by Limpopo, and I am the firstborn in a family of three, whereby I started working by Capitec 2013 till to date.
You have been described as a top performing salesperson at Capitec. What does success look like for you in this role?
Success just gets to motivate me to always be improving continually, and also makes one to also be a better self of his identity, and also strive to work outside excellency and improve every day on his targets and things that get to be put as expectations at the workplace.
You have consistently been a top performer. What do you believe sets you apart from others in terms of sales?
I believe that it will be planning, also having to always focus on one's work, and always having to be gauging on what happened yesterday, and also getting to make sure that one runs his race towards his own success and performance.
And how do you stay motivated to continue pushing yourself to perform at such a high level?
I believe that the moment that you are regarded as a top performer, your monthly targets to quarterly targets, you set yourself goals which you know that they might seem not achievable, and you plan according to those goals. So it means that I have to put every time an extra effort for me to stay motivated, and also to get to be in par with my own performance.
Wonderful. So, in addition to your sales role, you also serve as a leader in the union. So, how do you balance your responsibilities between being a top salesman and a leader within the union?
I'll first explain the concept, I think, leadership. I am a leader in three categories, because I am an NCF member, which is negotiating. I'm in a committee forum which deals with salary negotiations and all the demands of workers by the space of Capitec. I am also a shop steward in my constituency, which is Vhembe Region. I am also a chairperson of Vhembe BEC, whereby it's different kinds of banks having to form a BEC which consists of 17 members in good standing in Vhembe. So the balance is aligned with also my work by Capitec, which it has similar traits, which one has to plan their day to a week to a month. It means I know that if I'm going to be off work, I have to work extra to make sure that I have a balance of my work and also union work. So I constantly get to be planning and reviewing my plans.
Wonderful. So, what inspired you to take on a leadership role within the union, and what do you find is most rewarding about that?
I think there was a time whereby I got to be dismissed back then in the period of 2013 to date. Back then it was not, we were not yet recognized as a union by Capitec. And during that journey of having to go through the processes of an inquiry, I then felt that by the time that we got to be recognized, let me be a voice to the voiceless, because the trauma that I went through, it made me realize that one has to be a mediator and also that voice to those that don't understand the labor relations and also things that have to do with unionism. And I think the reward, it is whereby sometimes you see that smile after having to take through a person through an inquiry, and you save a job, and you see members having to be vulnerable, and you give them guidance, and they always get to be having food in their table.
So, as a leader in the union, what do you believe is the most important issue or priority for employees in the banking sector?
Unionism, it is having to do with the likes of collective bargaining and different kinds of needs. But then the one that top everything, it has to be the medical aid, because you can have the most decent salary, you can have better working environment, good manager, but then if you are not healthy, then nothing gets to you are not happy. But then if we've got like better medical aids everywhere, then we know that they always say that perfect health indoors also on you maybe being wealthy tomorrow. So it has to be the medical health space.
How do you advocate for both employees and customers, ensuring that the needs of both are met in your role?
The two roles are similar, because when we talk about members, when we talk about customers, in both of those pedigrees, you have to put in your best service. Members need to be serviced through always having to check if their constituency is in order. The same goes to our clients. You make sure that you get to be responsible when they come for any kind of needs. Use simple language, be transparent, be respectful. That goes also to the members.
Okay, so Capitec has a strong emphasis on teamwork and customer-centric values. How do you collaborate with your colleagues to achieve team goals?
Capitec has made it very easy for us, especially as a team, to reach our different kinds of goals, because we have a team charter whereby we create our own charter in our own branch, which makes us account for anything that maybe we might not be doing right. So we make sure that we align ourselves with the team charter, which is divided into different kinds of pillars. One is, which is my name, trust. We must definitely trust each other, love each other, and make sure that we do everything right at the first time.
And how would you describe the work culture at Capitec? How has this contributed to your own success?
The culture of Capitec has always been one that aligns with one's role and also success, because it is CEO, which is client comes first, and one must always put the client as a first priority. When they come into the branch, must leave everything, make sure that they are satisfied. You must have the right energy every time when you go to work, and you must have ownership that aligned also with my character, also when it comes to the union side, whereby when one gets to be doing everything, like they said, CEO, client first. This side also in unionism, it is you have to put your members first for the sake of their struggles or their sufferings.
Have any mentors or colleagues inspired you along your journey? And what impact have they made on your growth and development?
Yes, there's been a few. The first one will be Juliet Maliti, the one that I think was my first manager in Lipalale. She taught me so many things, especially where personality is concerned. She taught me to prioritize my family, to love myself, to be very respectful, not only towards clients, but also towards the surrounding. And the second one has to be Brighton Machabela. It was a guy that I think transformed my personality from having to be this kind of a person that used to, when you are growing up, you will be one with those habits. He showed me as a brother that one can be a better person because I think he was very patient towards me. This leadership also came through him having to encourage me and also saw the potential of leadership in me.
Wonderful. So what have been some of your biggest challenges you have faced in your career, and how do you overcome those?
Honestly speaking, it has to be maintaining the consistency of being a top performer. It is not easy. I think from 2013 till to date, I've been getting certificates from being a continuous, improver, debit order champ, and also credit card. So for one to always be in par with being a top performer, it's not easy. It means every day you must have a positive mindset, and you have challenges of whereby branch managers will be expecting over limit high level of performance from you for you to be able to pull the branch. So those are the challenges that one gets to get mostly.
And how do you overcome them?
I think it has to do mostly with setting your mind and being positive and allowing one to be always consistent in their work. Stay more focused on what you do rather than all the challenges that come with work, all those nitty-gritties in the workplace, maybe favoritism, having to engage on things that don't do with performance. I stay focused, I stay positive, I stay in my goal.
What advice would you give someone that is just starting out in the banking sector, or anyone who aspires to achieve similar success?
I think these 3 Ds have always guided me in the tenure of Capitec, which is dedication, desire, and also determination. So the person has to also have those 3 Ds to be the pillar of their drive, and one has to have their own self-drive, self-motivate yourself, and I think in essence, stay humble. Always stay humble in everything, and I'm quite sure that then that is where God will also lift you up.
Where do you see yourself in the next few years, both in terms of your career and your role within the union?
Trust me, I see myself as one that I know that I'm definitely going to be the likes of maybe in leadership, the secretary of the union, and maybe jump into the likes of COSATO. Career-wise, I see myself as a manager in the coming years. Yeah.
Wonderful. So is there anything else that you would like to share about your journey at Capitec, or any advice that you'd like to give to anyone else and others that look up to you?
Yes, I always say to press of the union, which is that I've given you a name, which is Azubari. Azubari means there's nothing that is impossible. So also I can tell anyone that there's nothing that is impossible. If you just set your mind into something, then you're definitely going to achieve it. We must stay humble. We must love ourselves before we love anyone. And also we must always pray and put God in the center in everything that we do. Yes.
Trust Muneri, thank you so much. We are done.
Thank you. Nda.